Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I saved this video to put out because I'm traveling, and so it was easier to put out when I'm traveling. I made it in advance. And today I want to talk to you about some really good things they're doing for the cruise industry in another country that we're hoping that they take on that here in North America, as well as some other places that are finally open to cruise ships, and one that could become a little bit dicey. Okay, first the really good news. Over in Europe, Greece is now setting up some of their COVID recovery funds that they have allocated to boost the economy and get the tourism industry. They're setting aside a bunch of that money for the cruising industry, making sure the ports are okay, making sure the shore excursions are going well, updating all the things that they need to do to make sure the cruise ships keep coming, because it's a very, very large portion of their tourism in Greece. So I think that's really good news that you see a country actually spending money on the cruising industry, unlike places like here in the United States where they haven't set up anything to help at all in the recovery, even though there's a lot of jobs in the United States and Canada that rely on the cruise ship industry, on travel in general, and tourism from cruise ships is a very big part of that. Just saying, really would hope that we on this side of the border, both in Canada and the United States, would start supporting the cruise industry a little bit, more than absolutely just nothing. Also, some cruise ports. Falkland Islands is opening up. You might not think that's a big deal, but it's a big deal if you want to go to Antarctica, you want to do around Cape Horn area. It's a very big deal to have all that in place, as well as Grand Cayman will now be bringing off passengers, and cruise ships are welcome back into Grand Cayman. Really good news. That's opening up a lot in the Caribbean. Even the British Virgin Islands has now changed some of their policies to make it easier for tourism to arrive as well for fully vaccinated guests that are on board. And as of right now, majority of people on cruise ships are still fully vaccinated people, and I think that number is only going to grow as children ages 5 to 11 are now able to be vaccinated. I know they opened up the vaccine portals here in Canada for children 5 to 11, and just here in the city of Ottawa, they immediately had 30,000 bookings on the first day to get vaccination shots. So I think a lot of people are, they're working towards, let's just get out of this thing already, whether I agree with it or not. Maybe just let's get out of it. It's kind of a good thing that I'm hoping for. Now, I do have a port that's opening. It might be a little contentious, and I'll tell you why. But before I do, let me just ask you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Just keeps you up to date of all the videos I release on a daily basis, so you won't miss any of the news for cruising. Really helps the channel out, and I'd really, really appreciate it. Okay, the much contested port of Key West in Florida. They are receiving this weekend their very first cruise ship. Now, when I first was reading all the restrictions that they had passed in Key West and then the state overturned, I said, well, 1,200 passengers, or a restriction of 1,200 people. I thought that was passengers, but it turns out it's crew members and passengers from the sounds of it. So yeah, even a passenger ship of 900 has more than 300 crew members on it. So that's a very restrictive number. In fact, I believe there's only about 21, 22 ships in the world that would qualify for that as far as cruise ships are concerned. And a lot of them don't even sail in United States, North America. So it could really restrict a lot of the things that's going on. Now, the state overturned all that voting that the Key West did to limit and reduce cruise ships, etc. During the pandemic, they really pushed the we don't want people to spread the pandemic here thing in Key West, and a lot of people voted, yeah, let's keep the cruise ships out because of the pandemic. And now the pandemic's over. I don't know if that vote would go exactly the same. I don't know. It depends on the true. I don't live there. I don't know the true feelings. But the state overturned it, saying you cannot interfere with maritime commerce from a city. You can't overturn the state's economy because of a city. That would be like a border town going from the border of Canada, the United States, saying, we're going to shut the borders down of Canada only in our state, and it affects commerce, and trucks can't get across. You see, that's kind of the same thing that they're doing. So they overturned it, and then now they're looking at fighting it again. In fact, they've hired a lawyer in Key West to go ahead and draw up a new amendment and everything where they would issue ordinances that would now ban those cruise ships that we were talking about going forward. And even the lawyer has come out to Key West and said, when I do this and I announce this, expect multiple lawsuits. First off, from the state government, possibly from the federal government, and definitely from all the businesses that are affected, and especially the privately owned Pier B. That they're limiting the commerce and the actual right to business of a business that has been long established for a long time, of which the city has collected money from all this time as well. So you can see it's not just a clear-cut case of we just decided we don't want it. You have to look at all the situations, but there's actual cruise ships in Key West this week and more on the way. They're not the largest ships out there. I think the cruise lines are just avoiding all this until a decision is made. The big choice will be in the 2022, and we'll see what happens when they're arranging their itineraries for all of that. I just hope, look, if you're upset that the cruises are coming into Key West and you want to protest and everything, don't protest the passengers. They're just on the ship trying to have a vacation. You want to ticket the cruise port, you want to protest the cruise ship, the cruise line, go ahead and do that. But don't interfere with the passengers and don't harass them when they're on the street. Be bigger than that. Be a grown-up about that, no. I don't think that's right. I don't think picking on people who are just trying to have a vacation and didn't have a choice in the matter of where that ship is going. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. And I hope things go smoothly. I'll report if it doesn't, and hopefully it does, and things don't get out of hand. Well, I hope you appreciate this little update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.